Hey, welcome to Black Amethyst Oracle. This is Carmen. A quick announcement. I am trying to be aware of how much I'm sniffling, and maybe I'll just take Sudafed every day for 10 months a year where I live. The other thing is I would like to try to stop saying it. I'm working on it. I'm conscious and I'm sorry. Let's get on with the reading for today, what I have. This is about your vibe, raising your vibration. It's meant to be fun, and I'm hoping that you're attracted to energies of a group. You know, there's something about what draws you and attracts you that reflects what you're attracting, and what you are about. So hopefully between these colors, these words, these stones, and the hidden oracle beneath them, you may actually tap into yourself and your energy and find yourself there and get a message. I'll also look at potential challenges in really fully expressing yourself to bring in the best, and advice from the spiritual realm about showcasing yourself and being out there in your best light. All of that, overcoming anything that's in the way. So let's move on. I will insert a still photograph if you would like to meditate on these immediately following my little ramble. Number one group is using the card Magic that was drawn. I did not pick it, and this is Serpentine. Number two is Reflection, and this is Emerald in Quartz. So it's shimmery. And three is Energy with Carnelian. There's my Give it a feel, and I'll see you there. Hi, group one. You chose Serpentine. Serpentine is one of those stones that is connected to or associated with all of the chakras and all of the zodiac signs. Super grounded and connected, and it is Earth, FYI. That may come in handy. You have Magic and you have Owl. Now, Owl symbolizes a few things. I always immediately connect it to goddess energy. It's a messenger, a goddess messenger in my experience and feelings. It is famously connected to wisdom and intuition. This book, I looked at it because I was curious what they said, and it says magic. I just thought that was crazy. Because I drew this one first, and then this one, and then I took a look and I was like, whoa, okay. It's not that I disagree, it's just of all the words that could have been used for owl, I thought that was pretty sweet. And maybe that will come in handy too. At any rate, it feels to me like you would be someone who is a believer, a dreamer, a believer, someone who enjoys the world of fantasy, magic things. Let's just get into this. Number one, I'm using this tarot deck to get your vibe. This is El Dio de los Tres. I hope I said that right. The god of the threes. I've never been really clear if that's a proper way to say that or if that's the correct translation. I love the deck though. I love these colors. The imagery is kind kind of surreal. Now, oops, I'm gonna look here. One more time, I'm being a little obsessive compulsive this morning. I'm gonna try to make these short. I say as I take forever to light some incense because I'm being really funny. What's up with that? All right, number one. I have my list over here of what I want to remember to ask. And it's only like 4 questions. What vibes is group 1 given? 6 of Cups. What vibes is group 1 given? 4 of Pentacles. Strength. What may be challenging group 1 in fully expressing their radiance, their magic? What may be challenging group 1 when it comes to fully expressing their magic? We have the World. What may be challenging group 1? The Hanged Man. Challenge for group 1. The Devil. Your challenges are majors. The World, the Hanged Man, and the Devil. It's a little intense. 6 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, and Strength for your vibes you're giving. So the way I'm seeing this is the vibe you're giving, you know, isn't necessarily what I would have imagined from up here. So I'm gonna try to dig in and figure this out, because the 6 of Cups vibe is youthful to me. I feel that you're, like I said, you have that belief. You're a believer, you're a dreamer. So there is this quality that I'm getting that involves the youthfulness and the wonderment of the child, right? So you may be just still who you've always been, you know, fun, curious, very curious about other worlds. The 4 of Pentacles, though, is speaking to me today of your vibe giving off a guardedness. So on one hand, you seem like really open to possibilities and really kind of craving excitement and fun and, you know, that whole feeling of anticipation. Like, it's an excited energy that I get from this. And then here, in a bit of a contrast, is something that is feeling a little closed off, just a little guarded, you know, like a protection around yourself, a little bit of walls up. And at the same time, strength. Strength reflecting both of these. You know, I feel there's a strength that you emit, a vibe of someone who is bold and confident, and yet also there's this kind of badass vibe that comes with this. So I guess that's what it really is. I think you just may come off as super fun and also a little mysterious, a little difficult to get to know, possibly, which is in contrast, if you understand what I'm saying. Because this is very inviting energy, and this is a little colder, much colder. And yet, through it all, you have a confidence and a strength. Maybe it's just a matter of who's reading your energy. Some people may find you very open and inviting, and an invitation to have lots of fun and just believe, like I said. Or, you know, other people may be just catching an intimidated sort of vibe. They feel intimidated, I would think. It's interesting. This Six of Cups has a crab on it, and this Four of Pentacles has a scorpion on it, which makes me think of crab and Scorpio energy, which is, of course, the crab is so sensitive and emotional, and they're both water signs. And even though this is a Four of Pentacles and Earth card, it also has cobras on it and a devil. This Scorpion, though, the Scorpio vibe here is accurate. Yeah, there's this mysterious guardedness. Like you have secrets. I think you might come off like you have secrets. So let's go into what's challenging you in sort of expressing your best magic, your biggest magic, and all your goods. So for the World and the Hangman and the Devil, my goodness, it seems like you may sometimes feel like you struggle to find exactly where you belong in this world. And that might make you feel you may have imposter syndrome in certain areas of your life, which I only just recently learned about. And it makes a lot of sense, you know, like if you feel like what it means to me is that you're a perfectionist, and it's very important to you to be authentic. And so with the way society is and the way people are, when you walk into any sort of prescribed situation, set up, stereotype, genre, you know, label, box, or whatever, you may find yourself not feeling like you completely belong there, and you're trying with this warm energy to be a chameleon and such, but at the same time, there's something in you that just doesn't really feel like you've found your absolute spot in this world, kind of thing. And then with the Hanged Man being a hang up on your full expression of your magic and stuff, I would say that this has to do with actually a timing element for you. Is it possible that you hit reset and have to start over a lot? Is this something that happens with you? Do you begin something, any sort of pursuit, endeavor, and then sort of quit or pause, you know, get stopped by some other force, and then have to hit reset and start all over again, either there or somewhere else? And does it have you really just evaluating all the time, like this stuff, where you belong, what you're supposed to be doing? The devil is to me here self-doubt, which ties into what I said here about kind of feeling like imposter syndrome. But this is a little different in that I don't, here you're just being a perfectionist and there's a sense of not belonging. Here, you know, and this is knowing you want to be authentic and having that be important to you. And this is feeling like maybe somehow you don't deserve what it is you want, or that you don't have the ability to pull off what you want or attract what you want and stuff like that. Just self-doubt. The nagging voice in your head that's, you know, catching you up. It could be, either of these could be related to what I was talking about, going through things and starting and not finishing and getting stopped or stopping, you know, either you doing it or someone else doing it. This could be influenced probably by this aspect or this aspect. It could be just the way you're being received, which is, I think, more on this side, or internal nagging forces right here. So that sounds like you. Let's keep going, and I'm going to use this deck for the next, which is basically follow-up questions for what we have right here. This is the vibe you're putting out, and I'm going to ask here how you can amplify it for the best, and here how to overcome these situations. Whatever. How can group one really amplify the warm, sensual, fun-seeking, curious, magical believer energy? How can group one amplify this? Shit. The Six of Cups. Four of Swords. Allow yourself to rest. Don't hold yourself up to this standard of something that you may feel that everyone expects from you. When you're not in this energy, like, this is very invitational and fun. And I'm trying to get a word about amplifying it, and instead I get the Four of Swords, which just feels to me like maybe you've put pressure on yourself, or you felt pressure externally and internalized it, that you are supposed to be this to people, you know? If that's true for you, then I would say the message here is to allow yourself the pause. And this makes me think about over here. It's okay. I feel the need to say, like, it's okay to take a time out. It's okay to rest. But the other thing is, I do also wonder, I do also wonder if you have begun at some point a process of wondering about attention-seeking behaviors of your own. You may have I just get the feeling that maybe you've begun to really contemplate what is this people-pleasing, attention-seeking energy. And I describe this as a really fun and beautiful energy, and I think it is. But it's something deep that I'm getting is that this is possibly related to that feeling of needing to support people. Perhaps in your history, you felt a responsibility to take care of your own caregivers. I'm really digging into some inner child stuff with this one. I did not expect. And I thought, I did say this was going to be a fun reading, so I can only control so much. I was trying to do a fun reading, and that's really kind of intense. But if it's for you, then I feel really I feel, I don't know what the word is. I feel grateful for the opportunity to address it if it's you. Okay, let me look at this guarded energy. This kind of intimidation that you might emit. I don't know about amplifying that. Let me just ask for a message about it. Death. I feel like this is related to experiences you've had over endings and new beginnings and loss and grief. Seems like death is Scorpio, and we do have a Scorpio here. So this could be as simple as you having Scorpio, big Scorpio energy in your chart, or one of your major placements. So that could very well be a part of it. It could be Scorpionic energy within you and how it presents. Otherwise, I would, that doesn't have to be the case, because we all do experience Scorpio energy. It's a big one, and it is tied to death, and life wouldn't be life without death. So I would say your guardedness, your coolness, what may come off as a detached energy for you. And I don't mean detached from it's maybe that's not the word, detached from others, like independent, like a little closed off, right? That could have to do with either Scorpio energy you have and give, or experiences that you've had around loss. And I did feel the need to say endings and new beginnings, having to start over again. So that made me think about this, where we were talking about having to reset a lot. So, maybe you're just someone who's walked in and out of enough scenarios that you just kind of have a worldly, almost cynical vibe. Does that make sense? Is it weird when someone asks a question on a video and there's no answer? So the strength. I would like a message about this strength in the vibes one is given. Knight of Pentacles. So you might come off as someone who's really just kind of bold and fearless in and confident about the things you're going for, but at the same time, you can emit a little bit of a hesitation, possibly. Like, You show that you want to go for things. You show that you're working on things. You give the energy that you have really great intentions, and that you have the work ethic and you have the dedication. However, there is, I would say there is a piece here it's a skeptical energy, and it really reminds me of how I was saying this confidence and this strength could be showing up in both of these. It really is this skeptical energy, much like what I just said about the cynical energy. So really, like, whatever it is, when you're magnifying this Six of Cups energy, you may run into getting exhausted, depleted, or feeling like you're giving too much and you're trying too hard and you're trying to please other people and make everybody happy. And then there's this other amplified energy here. When it's this way, it's a little like closed off. It's not as inviting. And so that's what I'm getting. Love to know if it's hitting you in the vibes. And now looking at these challenges, and we were talking about the world, and I was saying this might be about like never really feeling like you found your place or that you belong in anyone, like where do you belong in this world? Advice about how to deal with this. Emperor. Well, because I get here that you just have to like build confidence, but how you do that is going to vary. Like what works for you is going to be different from what will work for another person who this resonates with. But I think what's important here is for you to find a way to build your confidence and your own power, this could be, coming to mind, martial arts, or doing something, going to karaoke and getting up and singing. If you've never been someone who's able to do that, like really just sort of facing your own things that you've been unwilling to try or do, and conquering them. It feels to me like that would give you an empowered sense of not necessarily needing like you have to fit in anywhere, but knowing that you are who you are. Does that make sense? I feel here that you may never feel, and there's nothing wrong with that, being absolutely unique and stuff. But I think that just being more confident in your abilities building your confidence in whatever way that you need to do that is what will lend to your ability to not need to belong anywhere. Like to be able to walk into any situation as this magical creature who just is different from everybody else, and more embracing that energy. There's definitely an embracing that energy either way. Maybe you don't need to build confidence, and I'm off on a tangent. But if you take anything from this particular message, I would say it's that you should embrace who you are and your individuality. And that's the magic of you, that you being like everybody else, and you probably already know this, is boring. And as far as these resets and these stops and hang-ups. What does one need to know about the Hangman? This is why I use 2 decks, because getting a repeat card is a big time confirmation. So what we were talking about, or I was talking about, was you not finishing things because something gets in the way, or something. It could be internal or external. Something hangs you up and you feel like you have to start over again. So I really just, this is hitting hard with a double, and I'm trying to I really feel like the awareness of that this happens and that it's recognized by someone like me and through this reading, that fact alone, raising that awareness, almost feels like you have your own intuition about how to deal with that in your life. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. There's so much beautiful symbolism on these cards. I'm really just sort of searching this illustration for a message, because obviously this is meant to be here. Are you may be someone who just feels like if you try enough things, you may just feel like you haven't been lucky yet, like in one of them. But you may kind of hold out a hope that something's got to give, and one of these is going to work. But maybe you're not giving them quite enough time. And we have this Ouroboros here, the snake eating its tail. And it's what's holding this whole situation up. And that gives me the feeling of, just an endless cycle of self-sabotage. One more for this, please. What should Group 1 consider doing about this energy? Page of Cups. You have to be more gentle with yourself and less perfectionistic, probably. Really appreciate what it is you're doing, because you might not be seeing the way other people actually do appreciate it. You may just be more hard on yourself than anyone else really would be. And the self-doubt energy makes a lot of sense here at the end. Like, what does Group 1 need to know about this devil energy? Yes. That's the 5 of Pentacles, talking about self-worth and feeling unworthy, feeling unloved. Just worrying and having difficulties in the practical realm because of it. Your self-doubt that may be a factor in these hang-ups. The self-talk that isn't so kind to yourself, which is why Page of Cups was recommended. Be sweeter to yourself. This is just leading to unfulfilled energy, to lack and hunger. And it's a spiral. shoot. I really did not know these were gonna get this heavy. Sorry. Very curious if this feels right. I don't want to end on that. I hope you took a lot away. I hope this hit home for someone, because if I'm doing this and it's not reaching where it's meant to go, then I'm over here in this energy. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? Let me get one more. Let me get one more card. Let me find some kind of healing here. Let me get, you know, I'm always going to turn to these animals. I got to. I have to. Can I have a big animal messenger for this first group and this reading? Any piece of information in this reading that I can hopefully soothe. What's something to keep in mind, something to remember. Starfish. Literally, starfish is about beauty. It's also about regeneration, but it's about beauty. There's certainly an attached energy. I've talked about starfish recently in another reading. They're very like attached, but they're not. I don't believe that starfish know how beautiful they are. I don't believe that's possible. You know, they come in all these colors, and they're in these beautiful tide pools, and they're quite amazing. Just everything about them. They're star-shaped animals. Are you kidding me? Like, do we acknowledge how amazing that is? Anyway, beauty that you're not seeing about yourself. You're not seeing how beautiful you are. You're not seeing how your difference and what makes you you is the prize. It is the thing. It is the beauty itself. So that, I hope, helped, because I feel like it was exactly the right message. I have a starfish in my bathroom. Maybe you need one to remember how magical you are. Okay, if you're feeling down, I hope that this is a connection we've made, and you can feel like seen and understood. Okay, so please join me again. Bye. Hi to group 2. You chose this super sweet emerald in quartz. Emerald is a heart stone, heart chakra, but a heart healer. But the quartz element adds all the rest of the chakras and all the zodiac signs. Otherwise, this is a water stone. So deeply connected to intuition and emotion. So you have reflection and salmon. Now, when I got the salmon card, I was like, that's an interesting one. You know, salmons who seem to know their purpose and against all the odds, and with absolute sheer dedication and determination and the drive like nothing else, they just swim upstream, and it's really a fascinating life force that salmons have. And you may have this kind of energy that is reflective, and that is the introspective and curious and wonders and takes time to consider and appreciate, right? So that, you know, these are just really for a vibe for me, and will tie in to the reading. I'm using El Dio de los Tres, I think it's called. And I'm using it for all 3 readings because I don't use it enough. It is so symbolically rich. It's so symbolically rich. It's really fantastic, actually. And I like the smaller size, and I love the colors. I needed some color today. The gray is setting in. I gave it a lot of shuffling after the last reading, and I cleared it out. But I like to do it for you and really kind of get into the energy as I'm talking to you. Weird how it works, isn't it? Okay. I would like to see, whoa, I'm tempted, but I'm not gonna. I didn't ask the question. I would like to see the energy that group 2 is giving. What kind of energy are they giving? And I just want to say real quick, the first reading was way more intense and heavy than I expected. I thought these were going to be fun, like, do you? I don't know what I thought. I wanted all the color and something lively and fun, and leave it to me to find the weak spots. Okay, the energy that group 1 is given. Are you given hermit energy? That's what this card says. Kind of matches reflection. Star energy. Ooh. 2 majors. What kind of energy is group 1 given? Judgment. You seriously have 3 majors in this question about the energy that you're giving off. So you may be appearing to people, appearing to others who know you or don't, you know, to be in kind of a major space, like a major period of transition. You may actually be emitting that vibe, like somebody who's onto big things, you know, someone who is in the energy of seeking higher truth and knowledge and executing that judgment based on such. Wow. Yeah, you're in a heavy energetic emission right now of getting to know yourself and of giving a shit about the life you're living, you know, for whatever has brought you here. Because I haven't been looking into what has happened. It doesn't really matter if this is true for you. For whatever has brought you here to this energy is big. It's like a big milestone in, or what do you call it when you're driving? Never mind. I'm trying to find this analogy related to driving and scenic routes, but it doesn't matter. You are coming off energetically as someone who is really trying to get to know themselves and access intuition and know what your purpose is. There's our salmon. Know what your soul wants and needs. Find that spiritual connectedness, that guidance, and this judgment. Make your life choices and your decisions based on such. You're coming off as being in this position. You're coming off as someone in reflection and someone in on a mission, you know? That's heavy and beautiful. It's actually very spiritual. Okay. Wow. These readings this is an interesting topic today. Very different from the last one. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the differences. I love when the readings are very different. Getting more well-rounded, more variety in the energy field, maybe. Okay. The next set of questions is about I literally wrote them here, and it's just 4 prompts. It's like there's nothing to it. The vibe you're given, challenges you may be facing, and then a word from the spiritual realm about each. It's really not complicated. So the challenges, potential challenges, group 2 is might be facing in their most optimal expression of their energy. Knave of Wands. Is that a page? Hold on, I gotta look. Yeah, that's a page. Potential challenges. Group 2 faces in the best expression of their beautiful energy. The Hierophant. Okay. We'll see if it's true for you. One more potential challenge in the best expression of this wonderful number 2's energy. 5 of Pentacles. All right. So what I'm getting for potential challenges for you, we have the Page of Wands. And you might just get a little distracted. You may have had to deal with, and when I say distractions, I really do get a feeling it has to do with, one, love interests in general, whether it's a relationship or multiple relationships, whatever you got going on in that department. I get a feeling that you could be a bit distracted, a little ADD around the fun. You may get really distracted by drinking and recreational drugs, which is fine. But if it's distracting you, it seems like that might be bothering you right now. Maybe you yourself have learned and begun to feel that it's in the way of you expressing your truest soul self, you know? Like maybe it may feel like wearing a mask, you know? But this distraction element of, you know, this other outside influence, you know, I do get a vibe of like relationship stuff, but you know, it can also be that it's just a distraction, the distraction of other people's stuff. This could literally be spending all day on social media and being like, oh, I hate that I'm on here this long. Is that me saying that? And then the Hierophant here as a challenge for you. I think this is what has been brought up for you, and you already know this because you're in this energy. I feel this, that you may feel at sometimes that you're without proper mentors, that you're without the proper company. Like if you're keeping the company of party people or more superficial type energies, you may, you know, feel like you're missing, you know, the support system, the companions, the allies who want more, who want a deeper connection too. So this just feels like you're in this really big, you know, crossroads where you maybe have been living a certain way and you've noticed that, what did they say? Something about whatever. I keep trying to think of sayings, like something about like the company you keep, you know, like you're just really influenced by these distractions, whether, like I said, whether it's relationships, social media, both, outside influences, what people, you know, have to say. It feels like more shallow energy, like you feel you have felt maybe too distracted by shallow energy, and you felt a kind of yearning for deeper connected energy around you, like friends and acquaintances and energy around you that is more geared toward connectedness and higher evolution. And then 5 of Pentacles is we're talking about general just feeling unloved energy is what I get. Like, it's like feeling unlovable, actually. Like you've been feeling like it's a self-worth thing, and maybe if you've been kind of out there and distracted by this kind of stuff, you may feel it just wasn't enough. You know, you may feel that it's affecting your own feelings of who you are and what you have to offer. If you've been comparing yourself to others, if you've been feeling like you don't measure up to these weird low standards that you may have found yourself surrounded by. Is that making sense? Under Salmon, with these challenges, it feels to me like you ultimately want to be working toward your full destiny, your real purpose in life. And you seem to have reached a place of reflection and wanting to make sure that you're doing right by yourself and being true to your soul and true to your heart. And that's the energy you're given. That's the energy I'm getting here. If it's you, it's you. If it's not, it's not. Now I'm going to use this Spirit Speak, not plural, deck. The reason I'm using a second deck is because of something that happened in the last reading is exactly why. Sometimes you get a double and it's just like, boom, like it just feels so good to connect. I love when things like that happen because it makes me feel like I'm right on the money. And when it doesn't, it just helps, I don't know, having a different deck energy brings in a different illustrations and such. And I chose to use these for their illustrations for what you're giving and what you're facing. And this is not about that. This is more spiritual follow-up. So when we go into this over here, this Hermit energy that group 2 is given, how can they make the most of their time in Hermit mode? All right, well, you heard it here. It's the 8 of Cups. And it really just means leaving behind that which doesn't serve you and prioritizing yourself, making the decision to walk away from situations, a situation or situations, distractions, walking away from that and turning your back on that at least for a minute, you know, and like really going in. Like you have to kind of cut yourself off from whatever it is that's making you feel shitty. If it is social media, for example, take a break. If it is dating, take a pause. You know, everybody can wait. I think if it's post-relationship stuff, you know, learning to let go and making a decision to take care of yourself and to do what's right by you is super important, is a very courageous act, by the way. And for the star energy, this connectedness and this desire for more, for meaning, for purpose, the search for purpose. How can 2 really amplify the star energy? The Devil. You can take this as if it resonates. But for me, this is literally this devil energy is literally all this distraction stuff, and it is sexual energy. So like, how can you amplify your quest for hope and connectedness? I really believe it has to do with walking away from chaos. Separating yourself from chaos, whatever chaos has been in your life. So I don't know what the saying is that I want to say so bad, but it has to do with the company you keep, you know? There's a huge element here of, you know, you being influenced by what you consume and what you're a part of, and your energy, what you give out and what you give back. You know, there's a flow going. And when you're affected by this kind of energy, it can be too distracting to get into this energy, which is a good place for you. And then these decisions. Tell me something about 2 making the right decisions for themselves. We have a 9 of Pentacles, very much the self-reliant kind of energy, you know, like just being independent and strong in your ability to take care of yourself and secure in who you are. There's a feeling of taking time alone and liking yourself, like doing things that you like alone will help you feel stronger about decisions you're making and fortify that feeling that you actually do enjoy time alone and being in your thoughts and in your reflective energy, that you're good company and that your worth and the energy that you give is valuable, and you know, you can give that to yourself. This is very self-care. You can make the right decisions for you and for your life. And I'm sorry about my dog barking. That was not the best decision. That's another story, but anyway. Decisions for your life in taking care of yourself and spending time with yourself. That's the feeling I get. Like, I just really keep feeling this image of you like doing something that you love by yourself and being like a date for yourself and being your own friend on a little adventure, doing, whether this is going on a trip alone and exploring a place and not having to negotiate with anybody else about when and where to eat and what to do and how to get there, or, you know, take yourself to a movie and just actually watch the movie and not, you know, be distracted by being with someone, or take yourself to have dinner or lunch and just savor the flavors and think, you know, like, this is probably stuff you already are doing, but it's just really confirmation about just standing strong in your personal power and knowing that you got yourself at the end of it all, and that your energy is, like I said, like there's value, and people who get to be in it should not be depleting you or distracting you from your great purpose. Okay, let's go over to them. What do we need to know or do about the Page of Wands energy? This distraction energy. Ace of Pentacles, a fresh start, letting some of that go and letting some of that fall away, and really just making yourself the priority and committing to your own personal growth, and just getting it started. It's every day is a new is the new day for the rest of your life. You know, every single day we make our choices about the rest of our life, and you can start over at any time. And this Hierophant, tell me something two should know about wanting more meaningful connections. Temperance. You're absolutely right on with that. This is the connection energy, and the exchange of energy and sharing is so important. There's alchemy in here, you know, that the chemistry of your energy mixed with the others creates something. Is that what you want to be creating? You want balance, you want healing, you want healed energy, you want good influences in your life and in your energy. You want people who can match and complement your energy. And this just makes me feel like you already you may already know that, and this is just meant to be confirmation. And for the last one, the Five of Pentacles. What does two need to know or keep in mind around this Five of Pentacles energy? We were talking about being left, you know, the effects it has on your self-worth. I think is what the gist of it. Page of Cups. And this came up in the last reading, and I say the same thing. You have to be sweeter to yourself. What you tell yourself, the way you talk to yourself, what you believe and think about yourself is also a part of this ally energy. You are, like I said, you need to reconnect to self and have that strength in the relationship, you know, of appreciating who you are, and this desire to find your purpose and to find greater meaning. It's shown all over. You have the Hierophant, you have the Star, you have Hermit. These are deeply spiritual cards. And if you're in reflection energy, and you're looking for purpose, then it's important just to remember that the way you talk to yourself and the way you think about yourself, don't be degraded. Don't be hard on yourself. Be gentle. Allow yourself the same compassion that you would, you know, hope you're giving to others. And I just got also, like, just don't be afraid to kind of reward yourself, which sounds really interesting. I literally, I got the, you know, image, feeling or whatever of you basically buying yourself chocolates and just really romancing yourself. Like, I was talking about taking yourself out on a date, and now I'm over here like, oh, you need to, like, really romance yourself. Like, really turn on the charm with yourself. Like, do what you need to do. So, I did give the last group an animal oracle because I didn't like how heavy the energy was, and I didn't want to leave that way. So I will give you an animal too. And I'm just looking for an animal to help me deliver another message to group 2. I would like to know something I should tell group 2 about their energy. Owl. That's interesting. The last group had owl as their this card. So the owl is the internal guide and wisdom, the knowing wisdom that you have and the connectedness to spirit. So that connection that you seek and that information and that guidance that you seek within, just rest assured it is in you. The owl is, for me, one of the greatest messengers of spirit, connected to goddess energy. So you may want to just sort of don't be shy, like, you know, attach yourself or read about goddess archetypes that are interesting to you. Is something I suggest. You don't have to be female to appreciate that. And, you know, I especially feel Aphrodite energy with this, which very much plays into this romancing yourself and feeling good about yourself, because Aphrodite is, well, that's Venus, isn't it? But it's about beauty and love and creativity. So this may be an outlet for you, is the further message that I'm getting. Like, you may have anything that enhances your appreciation of beauty is something to indulge in right now, whether it's going to an art museum, making a piece of art, shopping. You know, I said treat yourself. Maybe you should go buy yourself a new sexy outfit. Sexy can also be men. Whatever. All right. So cool. I am very interested in feedback on this reading and these readings today. So please do let me know. And I will see you later. Hi to group 3. I'm lighting this bundle, and I was hearing the Blue Oyster Cult song "Burning for You," and then I was thinking about how you have this carnelian, which is fire element stone, and I just immediately got this feeling of your attraction being really kind of amplified already. But we'll just see, because here's what I have for you. You chose the energy card in carnelian, which, when I got the energy card for this carnelian, I was like, oh, uh-oh, because carnelian is really fiery and really is very strong. So let's just look here. And so you have energy and coyote, which tells me about, there's a dog barking. It's my dog. Hang on. Apologies, I had a little talk with him. We'll see if he listened. Speaking of listening, energy, coyote, right here. Your energy, my feeling about your energy, and you'll know if it's true or not if you pick the right group, is that you're really like vibrant right now. Like, it's really like big and calling. It's calling out to kindred energy. It's really pulling in, and it's really giving. It's real forceful right now. That's just the feeling that I get. Coyote is a super resourceful and adaptable creature. But you think about just hearing them yip in the distance, and there's just that call. That's what I get. But I always associate coyote with being a little bit of a trickster. So there might be a little bit of there could be, we'll see, but there could be a little bit of a tricky energy happening here. And maybe the reading will help me explain what I mean by that, unless we speak the same language. All right. I'm trying to get a read on the energy that 3 is giving. What is group 3 given? 3 of Swords. Oof. I really just got Heartbreaker, that you're giving Heartbreaker energy. 9 Nine of Wands. Oh, you're giving badass energy. I see. And the World. Oof. So it's true. For better or worse, heartbreaker energy. And I really don't mean that in a bad way. Three of Swords, I've never seen it in such a beautiful light before. It's it's one of those cards that's like, oh, you know, usually. But in this context and in this question, and what I'm feeling is that you are giving off very desirable energy, you know, like somebody who is gonna look out for yourself and take care of your business, and your independence is super attractive, and you're really coming off as somebody who's got all the choices, somebody who's got it all under control, and is very strong, very resilient, somebody who's kind of a force. There's a real feeling of a force to be reckoned with here. You kind of are giving this energy of somebody who's got it all, got it going on. Wow. A lot of confidence, a lot of certainty, assured, self-assured energy is what I would say. That's what you're giving off. Okay. That was really... This keeps happening with my readings. The third one feels clearer, more clear. It feels faster, and they actually have been shorter. And I don't think it's because I'm warmed up. I think it's the energy is different. And I mean, this is very different from the last two, who were very different from each other. And it's just, some are just like, that's how it is with you. And you'll know if it's you or not. But this is... I hope I'm conveying what I'm getting, because it's really attractive energy of you being very desirable and very crushed on right now. Like, really appealing, really admirable. Like, it might be causing people to kind of like feel like intimidated. Okay, so what sorts of challenges may group 3 be dealing with when it comes to expressing the best of their energy right now? And when I say the best, I mean whatever's going to serve you and your purpose the best. Knight of Pentacles, which as a challenge. You may not be fully grounded. It may be challenging for you to be grounded right now. You may be feeling yourself and getting a little lofty. Seven of Pentacles. You don't want to let this energy go to waste. You want to make sure you're investing it into things, places, and people where it can grow. So you got to be on the lookout for wasting your energy on that which isn't going to uplift you, bring you, you know, anything in return. Another Pentacles. One more challenge here for 3 in the expression of their best energy. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords being conflict. It's wild. I get, I'm getting this feeling of, I'm sorry, I don't want to say it, but I get this kind of feeling of like cockiness, and I don't like to say that like that, and I hope you understand me. Like, I just feel like maybe even it's just your confidence could be, you know, you seem like a heartbreaker, you seem like a badass. Maybe this energy could be perceived as cockiness, or maybe you do need to check your humility. I'm not sure. We will get into it a little bit more with another deck with more spiritual follow-up. But, you know, let me just kind of recap on this. So as far as challenges for the best expression of your best energy, that's going to be create the best outcomes for you, I would say there's certainly a groundedness that needs, getting grounded may be challenging. So it feels like a groundedness needs to happen in order to progress toward your goals, to make things that matter happen. And that ties into this one as well. Like this making sure that your energy, ground yourself and make sure your energy is going into the proper channels and outlets, and, you know, areas that you're respected, appreciated, and areas where you can have some reciprocity and get something back from, even if it's just fulfillment, but like something real, something, it doesn't have to be tangible, you know, but like getting something back, it's energy. So you want to just make sure you're having a fair exchange in where you're putting things in a balanced exchange, and also that you're not taking more than you're giving. And then with the Five of Swords, like I said, I just got this feeling of cockiness, and I just wondered, you know, is it just an issue with how you're being perceived, or is it something that you really need to kind of keep in check? Like how, you know, at any rate, as if it is how you're coming off, you know, as someone who's overly confident, then that would be, you might, if that's true for you, you might be like, huh, yeah, I can totally, that makes a lot of sense. And if that's the case, then it's something you can look at, and that's what readings are for. All right. Now I'm using the Spirit Speak deck. I just want to get Spirit Realm follow-up on what we have here. I have a full picture. Get some more fire. I don't think there's any lack of fire for you right now, though. Regarding this heartbreaker energy, I would like to mention, you know, that it can be a little, I already did, like it can be kind of intimidating and make you feel unapproachable. And it can also be like the super attraction, you know, super lusty kind of like desire creating energy. So let me just get another word about this Three of Swords energy of number 3. What do I need to look at? Knight of Wands. Yeah, I don't think it's like a bad thing. I think that you're coming off, you know, when I say you're coming off as a heartbreaker, it's a compliment, kind of. I think that Knight of Wands energy is super duper going for it energy, you know. It can be a little hasty though, is the only thing. But for the most part, I feel, you know, the two of these together is that you're giving off the vibe. So like if this isn't true, but it feels like it could be, like if this isn't what you want to be giving off, but it feels like I might be onto something here, then you know. But what I would say is, you might, if you've been in the business of wanting to attract something very substantial, whether that's abundance opportunities or love relationships type stuff, you might like to sort of rein in the, what may look like kind of, well, so I'll just say, like, you're giving this vibe here with this as somebody who, it's kind of like, don't call me, I'll call you energy. It's a little bit not uninviting. So with this one, it's just like, I'll come to you, I'll let you know how I feel. But so that might be blocking the possibility of someone coming toward you with any kind of offer, like I said, like abundance related or love related. It may just sort of be this energy may be standing in the way between your desired outcomes. Like this feels like someone who goes after what they want and will let you know, you don't need to be telling me how you feel. I'll tell you how I feel, and I'll choose you. And like, there's just this whole like, which kind of like makes me think about this cockiness down here. Like, it just feels like an energy that you might be giving off. It doesn't mean it's true. So that's why, if I'm pointing it out and it rings a bell in you, it might be something to take a look at if it's getting you, if it's not getting you the results you want. That's the purpose of this reading. Next, Nine of Wands. We were talking about coming off as really just like independent and strong, and I want to know more about this Nine of Wands energy for group 3. What do I need to know and say? Strength. Yeah. You're just coming off as really powerful and strong and bold and courageous. You're coming off as like someone who just really takes care of themselves and knows what they want and knows how to get it. Like, so that, just a note on that is, it might leave some people feeling like, well, I guess they'll let me know how they feel or what they want, because, that's how they are. But maybe you would like for someone else to make a move. And if that's the case, realize that they may be intimidated by you. They may think that you would have let them know if you wanted to. Okay, and this world energy, you coming off as somebody who knows a lot and has it all together, kind of got it going on energy. What do I need to know about this? What can I say about this? Queen of Cups. I do get the feeling it wouldn't hurt for some of you to be a little warmer, to think about warming up all of this energy just a tad. It's very hot, so it's hard to apply these temperature terms, but I think you know what I mean. Like, it's on fire hot, but like at the same time, nobody wants to get burned. So I guess maybe when I say warming up, and I guess that's not the word, it's kind of like, but it's not cooling off. You know what I mean? It's being softer. You might need to come off just a tad softer, a tad more compassionate. Like, you want that to reflect, someone, might be a little intimidated by you. So you might want to focus on, the more, like, the sweeter, more nurturing, more intuitive, softer parts of yourself, and highlight those, is the feeling that I get. But I think you do have all of that. Like, I think you have tons of nurture and tons of, this whole like warrior and heartbreaker, like totally got it on, going on energy, that that doesn't mean you're not an absolutely loving and sweet person. It's just maybe difficult for people to feel like they're allowed to touch it, you know, they're allowed to access that. And, you know, so just something to be mindful about. I do feel I do get a feeling here. There is a desire, there is a need, there is a want for it within you to be involved in these sorts of giving and nurturing, caring, genuinely compassionate relationships. And if you don't feel like you have enough of those, or if you're looking for like more of a romantic one, or more in the romantic one you have, then this would be an area. So like, for example, if you're given the energy of somebody who's already got everything under control and how they want it, but you're wanting more sweetness and care between you and like people or a person, maybe just be mindful that they may feel that you're fine how you are, and that you know, won't be giving to them or can't give to them. Like there's just a feeling here of it's like this feeling of you just being all set and not needing. But if you have needs, you should find a way to let those be expressed as well. And then over here with the Knight of Pentacles, talking about needing to get grounded and maybe not coming off as maybe not getting to your desired results is what I believe, because of a lack of grounding. Four of Swords. Yeah. Think about that. Just contemplate what we're going over here. And figure out, spend some time, you know, pull back, rest, and find ways to get yourself grounded if that's something you want to fix. If you feel like you're not meeting your goals, reaching your goals, on the right path, anything like that. If you feel like the magic you should be getting, the energy you should be receiving is a little out of reach, possibly time to take a rest, take a time out, take care of yourself in a quiet way, and get grounded, get back on track from a grounded perspective. Take some deep breaths. That's what I got. Oh my gosh. And the Seven of Pentacles, like a challenge being, you know, you may not be investing your energy in all the right places, or feel like you may feel like you're not getting the return. It's really similar, the feeling here. If you feel like you're not getting, you know, an equal exchange, I think a lot of that can be answered over here. Like you may be, you know, as far as like this, what you're projecting, maybe just giving people not a clear, accurate, I mean, it's clear that you're confident and awesome, and that's great. But if others are feeling like they can't really get close to you, or they don't really know that you don't need them or whatever, there may be a resistance, you know, from others to reaching a place of exchange with you. So can I have more information about this Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. There's, in order to overcome that sort of energy of not putting energy in the right places, this feels like confirmation, because the Knight of Swords is that, you know, that forward momentum, and you know, sometimes it can be a little quick, but it's very assertive, and it's very, there's a lot of communication with the Knight of Swords. So you just may need to kind of make a clear-cut decision around how you're gonna, around your moves, like the way you move and the way you're gonna go toward these particular like investments that you want to make, like energetic investments you want to make, like whether it's relationships, any type of relationships, or you know, endeavors, you know, pursuits of any kinds of pursuits of happiness, anything, any place where your exchange of energy doesn't feel like it's necessary. Like if you're putting energy in and you feel like you're not getting anything back, this would be a sign to really just communicate clearly what it is, whether it's just spiritually or to the people involved. Communicate really clearly what it is you're going for. Make that decided action in your own mind, what it is you're going for. If there's any chaos around your manifestations, it's just a time to kind of hone in on being very clear about those, being very clear with yourself and others about what it is you want to see happen. And then this Five of Swords energy, which I read as this kind of cockiness, which, like I said, it could be like a need to check humility, or just how you're being perceived as someone who's kind of aloof, or someone who's you may have people who are jealous of you, actually. So what can I say about this? What more can I say to three about this Five of Swords? The Lovers. So the energy that I was talking about could be standing in the way of significant romantic decisions that are to be made. It could be standing between you and good connections, or a good connection. Lovers isn't always about love, but for me, it usually is. Lovers is Gemini energy, Knight of Swords is Gemini energy, so it's really the same. You know, it's more of that communication and an emphasis here on, you know, really being clear about what you want. So I think, you know, if this is true and there's any kind of like question around your modesty, or are you down to earth? Are you grounded? Or do you just think that you're above everyone else? Like, if you're giving that off, like put some mindful intention into just ironing that out a little bit, so that you can indeed not be blocking situations you may be needing actually, or wanting to call in. Because here we are back up here again. I said your energy is really calling out. So if you're emitting this signal and really just calling in big energy, you don't want to block that energy. You don't want anything to you want the right ones to come in. You need a good filter, you know, but you want the right energy that you're seeking, that kindred spirit energy, that bonding. You know, coyotes being dog types, you know, they really just, there's pack bonding, and there's importance in the relationships, and I think that if that's what you're trying to get, you might want to consider the way you're coming across, because it seems very cool, but it's almost too cool. So I hope that helps you. I hope you're not insulted. That would be ridiculous. This is a reading. I don't know you. So I'm using this deck for one more animal message. I would love to tell group 3 something else they need to know or keep in mind about their energy. Cobra. Whoa. There they are. I knew I saw cobras. There are 2 cobras in this 5 of Swords. Down here. I love the cobra. I believe in this deck the cobra is about teaching moments and opportune timing, I think. For me, it's really, yeah, like this patient, this patient but powerful energy, like knowing when to strike, like waiting and being in this sort of like, you are in this alluring, seductive energy. If you think about like cobras and that whole like, they're like coming up out of the basket. I don't even know if that really happens. I just feel like I've seen it in cartoons, like coming up out of the basket, being like seduced by the flute or whatever. I always think of that, and I think about, you know, of the snakes, it's got this sort of like, you know, that built-in, I think it's called a hood. I'm not sure. It's got that to make it bigger, to make it more intimidating, to make it more ferocious seeming or dangerous seeming, you know. But I feel that really speaks to a lot of what we were saying over here about your energy, and you coming off as like, you know, this hooded, big, giant, like venomous thing, you know, like you better stay out of my way, like, but also alluring, you know, like, so this feels like a really appropriate animal for this message. So it just highlights to me the need for this message to come through about I want to say bravado, like where I was saying cockiness over here, but you know what I mean? Like just that sense of like being unreachable and being untouchable, and really just wanting to bring out more of this Queen of Cups energy in yourself. Like it is totally fine and rad to be a badass and to be a heartbreaker and to be hot and attractive. But if you're untouchable, you'll still be lonely there, you know? Like this cobra, nobody wants to come and give this cobra a kiss. Nobody wants to get too close, because while it's amazing and while it's like really beautiful to watch, there's like a danger in getting close. And I think that that's your message. If this feels right to you, please, 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 please let me know. All 3 of these readings today have felt really specific, and they're either going to be the person, you know, the people watching, some of the people, some not. You can't, you know, can't resonate with a reading of every single upload that someone has, that's for sure. So, I mean, there are people who may watch, say you watch all my readings as they come out as a subscriber or whatever. You're not gonna resonate with every, you know, every reading. Like, I don't mean like your choice for every reading. There may not be a group for you in every single reading. So I am very curious about my statistics and how this is going, how we're doing. I think I've said this before and nobody tells me anything. I think I said that before. Wow, deja vu. All right. Alrighty, there you go. Have fun with your bad self. Just like be nice. Bye.